Good afternoon, Mr. Harry and my friends who watch this video. So my name is Gede Arimbawa, and today we will talk about tree reflection with the rule of 3-2-1. So these three reflections are parts one consisting of reflections on meeting 1 to meeting 8 of this subject. So what we think in this reflection are three things that you learn, you hear, and you understand from the beginning until now. As for two things I learned and done, two things I plan to apply in my studies, and then one thing I still need to improve. Well, let's move on the first three reflection on what I learned and understood. First, I have learned that in research writing, the important thing to remember in conducting a research is to use a good source of knowledge. A good source of knowledge here is to use a scientific approach, and some references must match the citations in creating sources of knowledge in each study, because when using a scientific approach in writing, it will make our arguments stronger, because with this scientific approach as material, evidence, and accurate references in the writing of a scientific paper. And the second one is I can also learn that in writing research, who do not need to express our own point of view or opinion, but only focus on using the opinion of theoreticians as a scientific approach. And then, thirdly, I have studied the type of quantitative research, such as experimental research, open factor research, and analytical and theoretical research, that I can understand how to formulate research question for each type of research design. For example, how to formulate experimental research with a focus on using the flipped classroom method compared to using the traditional teaching method. And moving on from the explanation above, there are several efforts that I plan to implement in my study. Namely, the first one is I plan to conduct a survey of several research subjects, such as campuses in Bali, although the subject I list at the beginning were university students. If I add references to the research object to several students, other than Unixta, the result object will be more accurate regarding the two methods in this research, because as we know, my research in writing requires a lot of referencing and actions directly, because it is experimental, right? And then the second one is I will plan to compile an assessment rubric in monitoring the development of the flipped classroom method used by teachers and students in the classroom. By compiling an assessment rubric, it will be easier for me to compare the two methods in my study. Okay, as for one thing I still need to improve in my studies, so I need to improve my reading, thinking, and literacy skill, because in making a research, I need to read a lot of sources and find lots of references and improve my thinking skill in a more true way, finding a little gap between my research and other research choose, so that I can make result which is more accurate. So that's all about my true reflection. That's all for me. Thank you.